Bien tapadito, ¿eh?
Vamos a empezar a hacer uno de los entrenamientos que menos me gusta hacer.
12 tramos de 100 metros.
No eran 10.
Siempre queda 2 más. Tú nunca sabes lo que puede pasar en una pelea.
Qué cabrón.
Ilia Topuria is back in the gym, gearing up for the biggest fight of his life against none other than Charles Oliveira at UFC 317. The excitement is building, and so is the grind. Topuria's got his eyes set on making a statement, and he's not messing around.
Buena. Buena.
He's been hitting the gym hard, focusing on every detail that could give him the edge. From grueling sparring sessions with top-level partners to heavy bag work that'll make your hands hurt just watching. You can see the power in every punch he throws, as if he's trying to break the bag in half. There's also a lot of pad work going on, with his coaches pushing him to mix speed, precision, and timing, getting that perfect blend that makes Ilia so dangerous.
Opa! Opa!
Bueno, y si le tocan mucho los huevos, tengo aquí.
And it's not just the hands. Topuria's been drilling takedowns like a man on a mission, making sure he's ready for Oliveira's slick jiu-jitsu game. Every session is a mix of sweat, focus, and a little bit of that crazy determination that fighters like Ilia are known for. His sparring partners are feeling it too, getting a taste of what's coming at UFC 317. There's also some serious conditioning happening. We're talking sprints, sled pushes, and those brutal bike sessions that leave even the fittest fighters gasping for air. Topuria is pushing his limits every day, sharpening his tools, getting stronger, faster, and ready to go all 5 rounds if he has to. This is the kind of grind that turns a fighter into a champion, and Ilia Topuria is all in.
Queda una vuelta de esta ya.
And here's where it gets even crazier. Joe Rogan, who's seen just about every kind of fighter in the game, can't stop talking about how sharp Ilia Topuria is. You know Rogan, he doesn't throw around compliments unless it's real. He's been watching Topuria's technique, and man, he's impressed. Rogan talks about how Ilia's defense is so clean, how he's slipping shots with the smallest, almost effortless movements, like a subtle shoulder roll or a slight lean that makes him untouchable. And it's not just slipping punches, it's the whole package. Ilia's boxing is tight, dangerous, and clean. His hands are like laser-guided missiles, and you can see it in the way he's hitting those pads in training. Each shot is sharp, crisp, and ready to explode.
I wouldn't have said that. I would have said there's always danger with Topuria. He's so dangerous. When he hits you, it's different than anybody, especially with his hands. His boxing is so high level. And there's shots that he was landing that would thud, and you could see it in Max's face. He caught him with a bunch of good shots before that. But Max was landing a lot of stuff too. But he was forced into these exchanges. And when you're forced into these exchanges, Ilia has superior technique. His punches come straight down the pipe. His hooks are perfect. His distance management is perfect. He's super aggressive. And the consequences of getting hit by him are so grave. That left hook he caught Max with, oh my goodness.
Joe also points out that Ilia's a monster in all areas, not just on the feet. He's dangerous everywhere. Submissions, kicks, striking. Ilia's got it all, and that's exactly what you're seeing in his gym sessions. Rogan brings up that fight with Jai Herbert, where Ilia took a nasty head kick. It looked bad, like he was done for, but the dude's heart is as dangerous as his hands. He scrambled, survived the storm, and then came back in the next round to finish Jai with a brutal knockout. That's the kind of grit Ilia's been training for.
That dude is tight too. Ilia Topuria, whatever, he's fucking tight.
He's dangerous.
He's tight. That shit is tight.
Everything is so sharp. His technique is flawless. Everything's flawless. His boxing is so dangerous. He's so dangerous everywhere. He's dangerous with submissions. He's dangerous with kicking. He's dangerous. His heart is dangerous. He fought this dude, Jai Herbert, and he went up to 155 for that fight. So he's a 45-pounder, and he said, fuck it, I'll take a fight at 55. He gets head kicked in the first round by Jai Herbert. Is a nasty stand-up fighter. He's so good. He's real slick. He's real good stand-up, like real sharp stand-up. And he caught Topuria with the perfect head kick. And Topuria, he's in real trouble. He got dropped. And he scrambled, got a hold of him. Next round, sent him into the dark lands. Blasted him against literally slept him. Face planted him. And walk off.
You can see that fire in the gym. Ilia's been working on his defense, making sure he's ready for Oliveira's tricky stand-up, but also grinding his wrestling and jiu-jitsu to make sure he's ready for every scenario. The dude's in beast mode. He's not just training to survive. He's training to dominate. And yeah, Joe's watching all this, and you can tell that he knows Ilia's coming for that gold.
Ilia Topuria is in the sport. Current UFC featherweight champ. Maybe the greatest of all time. Watch him hit the punches. Look at this. See how he's moving his head when the guy throws punches? Just slipping just slightly.
It's like total economy of movement.
And the speed, man. The speed of that. Look at the hand. Look at the hand speed. These are like 5-6 punches a second. And Ilia Topuria is one of the absolute best fighters in the world. The dude is just fucking phenomenal. And one of the things that's phenomenal about him is his technique. He just sees that hand coming towards him and he's ducking. It's all like slight slips away, and it's slight motions, which is all you need to get away from a punch, right?
And it's not just Rogan who's noticing. Daniel Cormier has also been talking about Ilia's insane punching power. DC's seen it all, but he says Ilia's different. He compares Topuria to Triple G, the kind of guy who can put you to sleep with one shot. And it's not just raw power. DC points out that Ilia's got the skill to back it up, way sharper than Conor McGregor at 145. Watching Ilia in training, you see those tight, powerful combos. Nothing wild, just clean, controlled destruction. That's the kind of striking that makes DC believe Ilia can finish anyone, even someone like Max Holloway. And while Rogan and DC are out here singing his praises, Ilia's locked in on his own mission, which is to becoming a world champion. He's been open about how brutal the weight cuts have been, walking around at 175, even 180, and then cutting all the way down to 145. That's no joke. He said it himself. That part of the fight game has been the hardest for him. It took so much out of him that he wasn't even enjoying the process. But now, he's flipped the switch. He knows what he wants. He wants to close the chapter at 145 on his own terms, as the champ. For Ilia, it's not just about the skills and power. It's about mindset. When he's cutting weight, he says it's like being locked in a room without food for 20 days, and then being let loose in a room full of it. That hunger, that laser focus, and he feels it every time. He admits he's not the same person during those times. The kindness fades, and it's all about being dialed in for the fight. It's like something changes in him, like a switch flips, and every part of him is locked on the goal, to win, to dominate, and to leave no doubt. That determination is what fuels Ilia, and you can see it in every moment of his training, every punch he throws, and every time he steps into the cage.
What are you walking around at? Like, what do you walk around at when you were fighting at 40? 145.
I'm going to tell you in kilo,
Okay.
I walk around 80, 82,
175?
180.
180.
Most
Okay,
closely,
so
yeah,
you were
180.
losing quite a bit of weight. 35 pounds?
25, 30 pounds. Like,
Oof.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a lot.
hard.
That was the hardest part
Yeah.
of my training, of the fight game for me. I wasn't enjoying at all the last couple of fights that I had. I had to become more professional in the weight cut than in a fight game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was taking a lot of time and energy from me. And I'm like, my dream is to become a world champion. I want to end up this chapter that I have, that I started in 145. And now it's time to really enjoy it. And I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, like
That's crazy. It's like putting a dog inside the room for 20 days without any food, and you open the door and you put him in a different room with full of food. It's like the same thing, you know. When I'm cutting the weight, I'm a different person. I feel that I'm like, my mind goes different, my thought process is different, everything is so different at that moment. I'm not so kind when I'm cutting weight.
yeah, more focused,
Yeah,
dialed
more
in.
Exactly.
Dominic Cruz says it's a good thing. He says he likes weight cutting because it gets you dialed in. He says it gets you.
Ilia's power isn't like those long-armed strikers, and it's not about reach. It's about the way he explodes into his punches. MMA Guru sees that. He talks about how Ilia's strength comes from his build. Shorter arms, yes, but pure explosiveness. Every shot from the hooks to the overhands is backed by his entire body. That's why even if Ilia doesn't knock you out with a single punch, he builds his combos, wears you down, and eventually puts you away. Demetrius Johnson agrees. For him, what stands out is how Ilia puts everything together. The timing, setups, accuracy, and that rare power at 145. It's not just wild strength, it's smart power. That makes Ilia a real threat.
Yep. Volkanovski stuffed a lot of them as well.
Yep.
But with Ilia's short arms,
Yep.
all sort of like hook strength.
Yep.
He's not dropping people with a 1-2.
No, it's
all.
he builds up his combinations.
Yes, yeah, he builds up his combinations, their overhands,
Yep.
their lead hooks, their uppercuts to the body, to the head. When you do things like that, if you get pummeling early in the fight, over-unders, and Makhachev's on him up against the cage,
Yep.
even if he's failed a takedown,
Yeah.
if he has to drive an underhook, that gasses out those arms.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, whereas a guy like Pereira, he keeps his power
Yep.
a little bit more because it's on the leverage of the punches where the power comes from.
Yeah.
The fact that it's an 80-inch long arm.
Yeah.
And it whips. It's like a whip around the pivot point. It generates more power from
Yeah.
there. But Ilia is like a shorter armed guy. I feel like his power is directly because of the explosivity that he has, because of the muscle.
Yes,
that
and he
has.
throws it with his core. And when he throws his
Yep.
hooks, he throws his whole body at it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not a whoo. It's
Yeah. His style, he's a bit of a bully.
yeah.
Even though he's slick,
Yeah.
even though he's good on the outside and he moves well and he's got such good timing and feints and
Yep.
head movement, he's very, he presses forward. They can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
He forces it.
Yep.
You know, he's a bully.
He forces the fight.
Yeah, he forces the
if
fight.
you're gonna run from him, he's eventually gonna
Yeah,
find you.
he's
and you're
gonna
gonna
find
have to, You're gonna have to
Yeah.
fight him, right?
Stay away. Stay-
Michael Bisping doesn't just praise Ilia for being dangerous. He respects how smart the guy fights. While some fighters rely on wild aggression and risky moves to entertain the crowd, in Bisping's view, Ilia does the opposite. He points out how Ilia stays calm, patient, and sharp. He doesn't rush in or throw hands just for the sake of it. Instead, he studies his opponent, waits for the right moment, and then fires with full intent. It's that mix of patience and power that really stands out. And now that Ilia's moving up to 155, Bisping thinks that's only going to work more in his favor. Without those brutal weight cuts draining him, Ilia's going to be stronger, faster, and more durable. Bisping sees a version of Ilia that's not just more powerful, but more dangerous overall. He believes this new chapter at lightweight could bring out the absolute best in him.
Okay, he goes forward. He's kind of reckless, okay? And that's why we love him, and that's why he's so exciting, and that's why he's had so many finishes. But he does leave a lot of openings, and there's one thing about Ilia Topuria. The man is calculated, okay? He doesn't take risks. He takes his time. He sets things up. He looks for openings, and boom. And then when it's time to explode, he gets the finish. He has the power. And at 155 pounds, the power's going to be even more increased. It's just a fact. He's going to be stronger. He's not going to have those weight cuts. He's going to be a better athlete all round, okay? So let's just assume that he beats Charles Oliveira, okay? Now he's the lightweight champion of the...
Dana White thinks Ilia Topuria is becoming one of the best fighters out there. He said that you start becoming a legend when you keep beating top fighters. Dana was really impressed with how Ilia fought Max Holloway, who's known for being tough and taking a lot of punches. Ilia landed some really strong shots that surprised everyone, especially since he's not even the biggest guy in his weight class. That showed how real his power is, and now nobody can question that he's for real. Ilia's ability to handle such a tough opponent and still come out on top proves how hard he's been working in training. Moving up to lightweight means he won't have to cut as much weight, so he can keep more energy and strength for the fight. This should help him be even faster and stronger, which makes him even more dangerous in the octagon.
I agree. We were just talking in the back, as you start to clip off legend after legend after legend, you eventually become a legend. So he looked, both guys look great tonight. Max came in with the right game plan. I think that the early calf kicks, added up and took their toll later on in the fight. Those things are so devastating when people throw them the right way, and they're done before.
And if you think of the names that Max has fought, right, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys have landed big shots on him before. But for Ilia Topuria, who's not even a particularly big featherweight, how crazy is it that he can generate that much power in his shots?
Yeah, he's legit. If you question a guy after Volk, you can't question him after tonight. He is legit.
It's clear that Ilia is very focused and determined to make it all the way to the top. He's not just fighting to win, but he's fighting to prove himself as one of the best in the world. The way he moves, hits, and stays calm under pressure shows he's ready for big challenges. What do you think about Ilia's chances in this next fight against Charles Oliveira? Do you believe his training will pay off when it really counts? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more UFC news and updates.